Land ahoy, you land lubbers! Hello everyone and welcome back to our tropical paradise. A bit dangerous it is, if you don't mind the occasional pirates and spiders and snakes and whatnot that is attacking you. It's actually pretty beautiful here, right? And we have set up ourselves quite a nice colony there on the hardest difficulty so far. Yeah, support rating is a bit low. I'm not too worried about that. We are close to 300 people at the moment and have 120,000 cash in. I'm waiting for one more export and then we're probably going to push it to the next era. We are also in the middle of, borrowing a Stonehenge that we can use for our own profits then, that we like to. Problem number one is because of that is, because I want to get Stonehenge is because my logging camps are chopping down too many trees and Stonehenge is boosting your tree output quite a bit. And I would like to do this in advance. I would like to prepare for my boat industry this way. The next chapel is finished too. That's another 10 revolutionaries that we get in. By the way, yes, we only have 10 more vacant jobs, which is perfect really, because with that we have a pretty fully functional industry at the moment up and running. Looking at my balance here, as we can see, also my revenue is almost more than $20,000 higher than my expenses in the last 12 months. My highest upkeep right now are my bunkhouses and my plantations. My wages are my plantations and offices. So this is where we spend most of the money on right now. It's always worth it having a look at that. The two edicts that we have active do cost us $3,000 per year. This is also really cheap in comparison to what the bonuses are coming for us. The bonuses that are coming out of those edicts there. Now, the rum distillery is also working at full speed. Where's the last export trader here? There it is, going to export me quite a few more things for tobacco, cotton, because right now in the colonial era, those are the things that are really valuable, right? Once we enter World War, tobacco, for example, is not going to be that profitable anymore. Quest completed with that as well. Another mandate extension, but that's for naught. And 20,000 more dollars that we get out of this export here to 133,000. And with that, the people of Tropico love you almost as much as I do, Governor. We have such exquisite taste. But we do not understand why we still take orders from the crown when we have the best possible leader in all the world right here. And on a completely unrelated note, I was idly scribbling with my quill and found I had inadvertently drafted this Declaration of Independence. Perhaps you might like to sign it, Governor? Alright, thank you, Penultimo. Just glad you're doing the job for me. And declare independence and pay the crown 15,000 credits. We could also declare independence with a war, but since we have enough money, let's do this.
Excellent.
And with that, we are signing our independence and enter the World War era. Most notable change right away is we finally have paved roads, no longer the dirt roads, right? And we also now need to, well, make a constitution. And we need to decide on the two first topics that we have available to us. That is the voting rights and that is the armed forces. For voting rights, I usually like to go with all citizens vote. It all comes down to how confident you are to winning elections, right? So if all citizens vote, then, well, things could turn ugly really quickly. Open ballot elections, however, only the employees of governmental buildings will vote. Of course, they vote for us. However, we will get a pretty high chance of rebels appearing in the colonies. So no rebels, lots of rebels, the middle ground. I'm feeling confident. Let's go with all citizens vote, and for armed forces we're going with a militia. So soldiers require no education. In case of military conflicts, each barrack will provide one military squad. That's fine. The other ones would be a bit too extreme for education. I don't want to have too many educated soldiers at the moment. With that, World War era it is. Things are changing. We have also now cars. Do we have cars? There they are. Finally, no more horses drawing around. And also the first earthquake happening up here at the moment. It's going to tremble all the way here to my colony. Probably will destroy a few buildings if we're not careful enough. And the first thing that I would like to do right away is... I've heard that natural disasters are not as loyal as Penultimo, and perhaps we ought to plan some contingencies. The most expensive option is to strengthen all buildings. Of course we're going ahead with this. Did cost me 10,000 credits. But no building should collapse because of that. I would like to upgrade some of my Teamster offices now to a second shift. This is possible thanks to World War. And with that we do get a few more jobs out here. The same I would like to do for this one, second shift. And let's also hire some people here right away. that we have a bit more transportation going. Very important to do this right away is starting up the new industry that we have. The first one is the shipyard. Let's enable that blueprint for 5,000. The shipyard will cost me another 10,000. However, we have lots of planks, right? And those shipyards are consuming planks to make boats. And I would like to do this right away. Let's build 2 shipyards for 20,000 credits. Also, in addition, I would like to have, some flop houses, a new blueprint that we have enabled. This one is a bit of a higher quality than the bunkhouse, and it houses up to 9 now households. Plus, it's also looking actually much better than the bunkhouses, and we can have them much more modern, right? And we can have them here along the roads. This is for the workers of the shipyards. Another very important one is the textile mill. So the cotton that we're producing and the wool that we're producing, we can make into cloth. This is going to cost me another 15,000 on the credits to build me that. And let's have this, this textile mill right here as well then in my so-called industrial zone that is popping up. Also with that, we will need a few more people here then as well. So let's create more bunkhouses close to it. Research-wise, we should also be able to unlock us a few more things. The first one is we have 1,100 knowledge points, which is okay to unlock us one more thing. And that would be the... where do we have it? The state loans. You receive a loan of $50,000 and you need to repay $80,000 with monthly payments of $600 over 10 years. This is kind of like an emergency function for me. So if I make some mistakes and I realize it too late, we can get a quick cash pump of $50,000 that I can use to increase my profits, right? It's not looking bad right now, but it might change if there is some catastrophes happening or whatever. And bunkhouses are still working at 0 budget. That's important for me. By the way, my chapels are not working. And we still have pirate attacks. Also looking a bit better equipped, these pirates. Earthquake still happening as well. What we can also see is my support rating is down to 0 at the moment. We have a very low healthcare rating, so I would also like to provide a new service, and that is the clinic. It doesn't cost me that much. Maintenance is a bit more expensive because, of course, we need doctors on it. Let's go ahead and have us a clinic, closer to the city, I should say, so we can squeeze one in here. And I would like to build a second one out here a bit further where we have bunkhouses and stuff like that. So those guys have healthcare services then provided as well. Let's go ahead and build us a healthcare clinic right here. Nice export of $28,000. That was fine. And we also have the first shipyard available to us now. So let's push the budget right up. Hopefully there's some workers coming in. We have 300 people, 26 vacant jobs. I will probably need to import some of them right away. And they will now get the planks and produce boats out of that. We can, the heavy duty crane upgrade I'm doing later. It's a bit expensive right now. I want to play it safe, so I'm waiting with the upgrades. The second shipyard is under construction. The textile mill still will have to wait. I have upgraded my construction site to have a few more jobs available so we can speed it up, which is pretty important, I think. Now we can also check the trade routes because there are a lot of things changed. We don't have the crown anymore. We have, different political factions now. That is the Axis or superpowers. That is the allies, right? So US, UK, and then we also have Brazil and we have Venezuela. So these are the factions, and let's just try to get on good terms with a few of them. However, getting on good terms doesn't mean that it's profitable, really. So in that case here, nothing is really profitable. However, we need to get these trade routes profitable. How can we do this? Increasing our reputation with the factions. Let's just see. Coal, for example, to the US would be only 2,700 volume, and we would get a nice boost here. So let's go ahead with that. Low volume trade route it is that I want to achieve right now. We could also export some meat, we have that. We could export some tobacco, we have that, with the Axis, for example. Let's go ahead and do this. It's not going to be profitable at all, right? But it's going to give us a bit of reputation there. Plus, there's nothing else we can do anyway, right? So it's these 3 here, tobacco, and coal. And the cotton we're going to use soon for some trade routes. I might actually go for some meat. This is actually a loss, but meat is a very cheap product, so we are not really going to feel that loss so much. I could also go vice versa. That is the importing. Importing some stuff here that would give us also a nice boost with them. So importing some coffee here, so 800 volume is nothing. And some cocoa, that is also nothing really, and gives me a nice reputation boost with those superpowers. Ah, very good. The planks are in, and we're producing the first boats. Now, boats are going to be quite profitable for us. So I would like to build a second shipyard, and that's coming along as well. It's still trembling. And there's the second shipyard. Let's hire some workers there right away, push the budget, and just hope for the best, really. Very important for the forge, let's modernize the weaponry. Increases the fire rate of 110% while in man the ramparts mode. Decreases the upkeep by $5. The risk of catching fire is reduced. We could also do the other thing, the arsenal. So this is increases the efficiency of each military and defensive building within the military strength radius of 25%. The fort deploys militia squads when militia is set in the constitution. We have that, so let's go ahead with the arsenal. And we have thus upgraded our forces there a bit. The Sister Francesca is introducing herself for the religious faction that we have. And she wants us to build a restaurant. Of course, it's all godly matters. Let's accept this one. And we've also finished the first trade route here. Very good. Increasing our reputation with the superpower. By the way, that export was $46,000 right now. I don't know why it's that high. Should it really be that high? Revenue, export, planks, rum, iron. There weren't no boats in yet, so we're just exporting a lot of planks, it seems. Fancy cars, those new boat makers are having. And both shipyards are now fully functional. They live then in the bunkhouse right next to it. Now we also get the mission to progress to the Cold War. That would be the next era then, but that's far away. The first step towards that would be reach the state of alliance with one of the superpowers. We can prepare this by building, well, embassies. So let's go ahead and do this, really. And we do have it in the government building, and there it is, the embassy. It would cost me 2,500 for the blueprint, and then 5,000 credits for that first building here. And yep, let's go ahead and have the embassy next to the palace, of course, close to Tropico, to El Presidente. And Erich von Strom is actually introducing himself, and he's from the Axis. He's got a demand to fulfill an import trade route from the Axis. This, do we have? No, we don't have an import yet, so let's just check it out for the faction Axis. Geez, they would give us. And weapons. Let's go with G's, that's really cheap. After a bit of time, the first embassy is also finished, looking fancy, really. And with this one here, we can now invite either the Allies or the Axis. Let's go with the Allies for now. The next export will be happening now. Lots of stuff that we can export. Also, the first boats are being ready for export. This could be profitable for us. It is. And we made, I think, 50,000, 56,000. And are thus above 100,000 again. Problem is, though, we have 44 vacant jobs. This is actually pretty dangerous. Because if there's too many things not properly staffed, they will just cost us money. And it's accumulating over all the buildings that we have. Let's especially make sure that the plantations are always fully staffed, because they're like the backbone of our industry, right? Oh, this is not a backbone. This is a catastrophe happening there too. The first fire. What is actually not staffed right now? Fishermen, we could staff. Boat makers are fully staffed. I don't really see a problem though. Oh, doctors we need. No one likes to live here, it seems. Of the higher educated forces. The mines we can definitely fully staff still. And yeah, because there's a fire, we should also provide the next bonus or the next service, and that is the fire station. It does cost me quite a bit, but it's going to be worth it because fires will happen more frequently now. And let's just see where we could squeeze in that bad boy. We should probably have it a bit central, so let's have it right next to the Teamster office here. Also pleased to report, my textile mill is working. Let's increase the budget for it. And as we can see, cotton and wool are in. And we're producing cloth out of that, ready for export. We could get some 2 more job positions in, and we could also increase the efficiency by using power. I don't have power yet, but the option is there. Communists introducing themselves. Marco Moreno, hello there. And he wants me to produce canned goods. Oh, this is actually pretty difficult. I will not be able to do this. So we're going to decline right away. Since money is not the only important thing, but now also happiness, we should provide some more bonuses to my people. So housing quality is rather low right now. The same goes with the fun coverage. Healthcare is still also low, but we didn't have that many doctors yet. But for fun, we can definitely do something, and that is building the circus. So I would like to do this. Let's just see where we should have it. For now, I would like to have him central so people can go to it. We don't have public transportation yet, so having it central is important, really. So let's have it right here. We can move the circus then later. It's just some tents, right? Makes sense to move it. For housing, we can do something else, and that is increasing the budget. I'm going to increase the budget to the middle ground now for all bank houses and for all flop houses. This will increase housing quality. However, it will also, of course, increase the costs for houses. So this upkeep here will go up over time now. Very happy to see the fire station. It is so important. Firefighters go boo, and let's increase the budget for it right away. We could also get the helicopter in Cold War. I think it will be too late, yeah, for the ranch though, as it's destroyed. We need to rebuild it. Oh, we also have the first protest at hand. These 3 guards here showing me the finger. And their problem is healthcare happiness is too low right now. I know, I'm working on that. The clinics are both working. Let's increase their budget. And let's also increase their service quality. Second clinic will probably be also pretty full. Yes, they're both full. We have completed the cheese trade route, and this gives me some bonus with Erich von Strom, and we could get some credits, immigrants or random blueprints. Let's get immigrants. To be honest, we still have 28 vacant jobs. I like people. By the way, I built this one looking to the wrong direction. I'm going to pay the price, the ultimate price, and that is relocation. We probably will need to build a 3rd clinic, to be honest. We have enough people. Let's have another clinic here. Behind the fire station. We can, by the way, also make that connection here now. Ugh, not like this. What is going on? That one. The game also tells us there's a low rebel threat at the moment. I'm confident that my soldiers can do the trick if it comes to battle. However, of course, I would rather keep this low. Now for the doctors, for the librarians, for the newspaper guys, we do need some better housing. Right now we only have flop houses, and those people, they don't like to live in flop houses. The middle ground here would be the house, so a better quality residential building for 3 households, and the tenants must be well off or better. Let's go ahead and get this. And this is a really tiny building, and it's just very good to squeeze it into some places if we like to. We could also make a nice little tenant area for this, for the household, right? So let's just see that we make us a residential area here, right? With those houses in the middle, like so. Let's build 4 of them for now, right here in the center, and they're also going to have some nice parks then in their surrounding. And we should probably also provide a restaurant now to the people. This is not only a promise that I have, but it's also increasing the service quality for food and fun for a lot of people. So having a restaurant makes sense. And we could just easily squeeze it in here along the street, in the center of my growing city. Let's also complete the area up here. There's a bit of forest area, and I would like to use this to get another logging camp out, because right now we're running out of logs, right? This one is producing a bit, this is producing a bit, yet the sawmill, or the lumber mill, is actually empty of logs, so we need more. Let's probably also provide them some houses here. State loans have been researched. Hooray, very important. We don't have that much knowledge at the moment, but I would still like to use this to go for the next one, and that would be the free wheels. So even poor citizens can use cars. This will drastically improve mobility of all my people. However, it will cost me 1,000 credits. This is something I'm not going to do right away, but it's very important to have it unlocked for the future. The same goes with the audience. Triggers a demand from each of the 3 factions that we have, like the religious, the capitalists, and communists, and we can improve our faction reputation with them. With the latest freighter, we got $26,000 and 30 immigrants almost. The circus is now fully working and already filling up nicely. And also the restaurant was built right over here.
A good deed.
Improves our religious standing. Very important to get this one up. Way more important than the bit of credits that we could get out of it. And let's also have a nice park right next to it. By now, my little residential zone here of houses is finished, and as we can see, people are moving in, especially some doctors here, and not policemen, firefighters. It's not the plantation guys that are living here, right? It's the ones that can afford a bit of a better housing here.
Presidente, you look
Another access demand for import trade route, and how's my looking now here? Fun is going up a bit, perfect, and housing is also going up now. Very good, we need that. Yeah, both shipyards are out of business for the moment. This is really bad and could come back at us hard. Let's increase the budget. We need more logs, please. There they are. We get some good trade routes now that we have a bit of reputation, like the cloth trade route here for 20% increase. Let's go with the highest volume, as we're definitely going to get a lot of cloth out there in the long term. Also here, rum. Very good. Let's go ahead with this. Highest route, and we do need one more import, right? Yep, for the access. Give me something cheap. Steel is not cheap. They don't have another trade route at the moment. Cigars, it's also not cheap. Nope, I can't do that. Another protest. Who is actually joining here? Construction workers are joining the protest, and they say they want more fun happiness. I'm not providing enough fun. I do have a circus already. This should be a nice one. We could also build more taverns. This is always a good way of boosting it. So there is a room for tavern here. I could also have one. I think here this one is full. Yes. I mean, we have a lot of workers here in the area just generally, right? There is a tavern. Yeah, let's have another tavern. I think over here by the clinic. I would also like to go for the next industry, that is the steel mill. Now this one here processes coal and iron to steel. You know, we have coal and iron quite a lot thanks to our mining operation. So the steel mill would make sense. And let's actually build the steel mill a bit closer to the mines, right? You could also have it down here in the industry zone, but it's polluting the area. And I would like to have it a bit further away from anything that is, yeah, livable, right? So let's have the steel mill a bit further up here. Make a nice road connection. And it's right next to the mines, then keeping transport times low. For security reasons, let's also build a second embassy. I say security reasons because we want to keep the reputation with my superpowers as high as possible. Otherwise, they're going to invade us. And if we're also high on them, like this one here, we could ask for financial aid. Gives me 20,000 credits or dollars, just like that. Reduces my reputation with them a bit. However, since we are very good with the allies with trade routes, we don't even lose that. Let's continue to improve our relation with the population by building us a church. And I think right here somewhere we should have it. Yeah. Lots of construction taking place. My construction workers are busy if they're not protesting right now. A very good trade route opportunity that we have. Boats 20% more. Let's go with the highest volume. Thank you, allies. I should also get up with the access there a bit. They want corn actually from us. Let's go with a low volume on corn. And pineapples. Ooh, 61% less than usual. That's not good. Planks we don't have anymore. Tobacco I could go ahead with a bit. There is no price increase here, but it's a nice boost with the access. Let's do this. Please give me a bit more money here now. 26,000. It's not looking that great financially right now. So we're having more expenses than revenue for the first time. One of the primary reasons here is also that my boat industry is not fully functioning at the moment. So hopefully now that more logs are coming in, we can fix this problem. But as we can see, at least the happiness is going up across the board for now. Housing is also up now, fun is up, and faith is at 36. We have built another big building here, the church. This should give me a nice additional boost here now to faith bonus for my religious Tropicans, making them a bit more happy. And I think the city is starting to look like something. Even though money-wise we should be careful. Stay tuned!